Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Rocode. In this video, we are continuing building our real-time chat application. In previous video, we built a login system and sign-up system. So authentication part is completed, and after the authentication, if we log in here, so we go to the chat page, and in the chat page, we have to make the API of this chat and the messages. So before starting, if you don't subscribe my channel yet, then subscribe my channel and also like this video and go and check out the first two part of this real-time chat application playlist. And without wasting any time, let's start. So in the pages in the auth.tsx, we created this one and auth.tsx part is completed. So we have to make the chat.tsx now. So in chat.tsx, we can see we have the user's name, what the users we chat with, and also the chat screen for that. So let's build that first. Okay. So for the user's name, okay, go to the server folder, and in the server, okay, this is the user, and we have to create a chat. So in the models, create a new file called chats.tsx. Not the tsx, it's js, chats.js. And here we need the mongoose. So mongoose is equal to require mongoose, and after that we need a new schema for that. So for const chat schema is equal to new mongoose dot schema. Yeah. So here in the chats, we need the logged in user ID and the connected user from that logged in user ID. So, okay, yeah. So for that, we need a user, and which type is going to be, the type is going to be mongoose dot schema dot types dot object ID, and reference is the user. Okay. Yeah, that's it. And after that, we need the all the groups that is connected to this ID. So for that, we need connected user. Let's name it connected users. Yeah. And here, okay, we need a array, and in the array, we need a user. So who is the user is? So yeah, for the user, we need the type is going to be mongoose dot schema dot types dot object id, and type is going to be object id. Okay, and reference is the user. That's it here. And after the user, we need one more thing. Okay, we don't need the socket id. We need the message id where our messages is stored. So message ID is going to be like this. Reference is messages. We don't created yet a message model. When we create the message model, it defines that. So let's create the message model as well. So for the message, it's messages.js. Yeah, and here it's going to be const mongoose is equal to require mongoose. Yeah, and const message schema is equal to new mongoose dot schema. Okay, and here we need the chat ID. So what the chat ID we want? So for that, yeah, we need the chat ID. So chat ID is going to be type of mongoose.schema.type subject ID and references from the chat. So let's export it first. Okay. So for that, const chat is equal to yeah and module.exports the chat. Okay. We need it from the chat reference, and after the chat ID, okay, we need one more thing. From the chat ID, we find the logged in user. Who is the logged in user? And after it, we need the sender ID, and the sender ID find from the user reference, and we need the receiver ID. Okay, receiver ID, and it's also from the reference of user. And then we need the message, whatever the message user send. So the message is type of a string and required is true. Okay. So after it, okay, make it export it. So module dot exports is message, and this is the message. Okay. And we need one more thing in the connected users. We need the last message. So last message. Last message is type of a string, and yeah, only this one. So make it like this type of string. So after it, okay, now in the routes, create a new file called, we have to route for the chat. So chat, make it chat route.js. Okay. So here, import the express first. So like this. And also we need the router, and yeah, after the router we need all three models. So yeah, import that const users is equal to require models from the users. It's from the users, and chat is from the chats, and message is from the messages. Okay. So after it, we need a controller. So make it. So for that, first, before all that, module.export router, and here create a router.get. So this one is going to be okay, make it like this, and async its parameter is request and response. And after it, we need the chats. So for that, how we find the chat? When user logged in, so user sends their token. Basically, the what is the token is the JWT. So for that, const JWT is equal to require JSON web token. Okay, and we need the token. So const, yeah, this one, and we need the tokens from the request.headers authorization token. Okay, and yeah, if we don't get the token, then simply return a response data status is access denied if we got the token. So for it, okay, const user is equal to jwt dot verify, we verify it, we signed it or not. So token and the process dot env dot, it's actually jwt token, jwt secret. So let's copy it and paste it here. Okay. And if not user, then return. We have to return access denied message. Okay. And if we find the user, then make a try catch block here, and here console.log, not the okay, console.log, and after that return response dot status with the internal server error. Make it JSON, and error is going to be internal server error. Yeah. So in the try block, we need to find the user, if the user is present or not. So for that, okay, user is equal to await user dot find by id and user dot underscore id. Okay, that's it. And after that, yeah, if we didn't find the user, then access denied. If we find the user there, then we have to find the chats. So all the chats we have and that user, we return that simply. So user and connected user. So for that, in the chat.route, const chats is equal to await chat dot find, and we find it by user and user dot underscore id. So after that, populate it from the connected users. Whatever the connected users we get uh, from the chats schema, the connected users we get, connected users dot user, we return that user. So basically, we don't need to return that user. Okay, we need to return all the connected users. So first of all, console it, console.log and the chats. Okay, and open the postman, and here like this in the get. First of all, in the index.js, we have to use that. So app.use and chat going to be chat route. Yeah, in the chat route. Okay, we need a chat. So it's going to be chat, and here, not from the here, we need from the browser, inspect it, go to the application, and in the local storage in the token, just copy this token. After copying it, open this one, and here in the authorization, okay, from the header, send the authorization, and value is going to be this one, okay, like this. And after that, we need only the authorization from the header. Okay, just send it and see what it got. Actually, it says internal server error. Internal server is reference cannot access user before initialization. So make it like not the user, make it is verify. So yeah, make it is verify, and we need the user from the is verify.id. And if we find the user, okay, yeah, yeah, that's it. And let's try to run it again. And here we got a access denied. Actually, we have to find it, what the access denied we got. So console.log the token and send it. We got the access denied and we got the token. So basically, we didn't able to verify it. So console.log is verify and send it. Yeah, we don't have underscore id. We have dot id. Okay, that's it. And try to send again. It's sending the request, and we got a empty array here. If you can see, let's refresh the server. And if you can see, we can get a empty array. So let's remove this console here, and we get the empty array because we don't have anything in the MongoDB. So let's open the MongoDB compass, and in the local host, in the chat, okay, where is the chat? This is the chat app, And in the messages, we don't have anything. In the chats, we don't have anything. In the users, we don't have anything. So yeah, it's working fine, I think. But I need to add some users here. So for that, we need to create another route called add user.js. Okay, so it's going to be const, not like that, const express is equal to require express and router from the express dot router, and we want all three models, the user one and the chat and the message. Okay, so here we need a router dot post. We have to add the user, and function is going to be async with request and response parameter. Okay, after it we need the we need the user ID. First we want the token. So from token request.header authorization, and if not token, we can send the access denied. So let's create a controller first. So we don't have to write every time this. So let's create a function called controller, and in the controller create a new file called is authenticated.js. Okay, so here we need a function which is async function, and function name is going to be same is authenticated, and in the parameters we need request, response, and the next. Okay, do it like this here. Yeah, that's it. If we found the token, if we found the token, then it verify it via the JWT secret key in the JWT.verify. It not able to verify, then access denied. If it verifies, then it returns the user, and if not verified, then catch error, console the error, and simply return a response.status with 500. Okay, so this is the next, and we need the user const user from the users model. Yeah, after that, simply module.exports is authenticated. Yeah, that's it, is authenticated. And in the chat route, we have to all remove all this, and make it const is authenticated like this. Is authenticated is equal to, we need to require the is authenticated. So for that is authenticated, this is the function, and simply call it. And this is the async. So await and is authenticated. Simply call this function, okay, and nothing else. After calling this function, if it's true, then let me find it. So it returns the user only. It returns as the user. In the chat route, it returns as the user. So const user is equal to request.user. Yeah. And try catch block. Here simply do this thing and return response dot status with 500. Error is internal server error. And in the try block, we need to find the chat. So const chats await chat dot find user dot underscore id, and return all the users, connected users it has. And after that, okay, return it, simply return it. And in the add user, we are going to do the same thing. Okay, await, yeah, So simply await is authenticated. Call this function uh, in the postman. Let it got something error here. So const request dot headers, it got a error in authenticated, is authenticated. Okay, we need to fix it from here in the add user. We don't call it here. We have to call it here. So that is authenticated, and after that is authenticated in the add user and also in the chat user. So remove it from here and here. Okay, is authenticated and comma. Yeah, and let's try it one more time if it's work. No, it's don't work from the jwt.verify because we didn't import the jwt here. So for that const jwt is equal to require JSON web token, and we need anything else. Okay, let it run. And yeah, we got the chats with the empty array. And yeah, okay, and add user chat dot route, and in the add user, okay, we need the chat find the user. Okay, so in the add user, so after the is authenticated, what we have to do, if the user clicked uh, not like that, we have to create a new plus icon. If the user added a user to this group, to their group, so for that you just sends the id, receiver id, and not the message like that. Okay, user id, make it only user id from request.body. Okay, from request.body you just send the user id of other user id, not not on. After that, try catch block, and here console.log error and return. Yeah, and in the try block we find the user, if the user exists or not. So yeah, await dot find, we find the user, what the user want to add in their group. So for that, if the user not exists, for that if the user not exists, then simply return error user not found. And if the user exists, then in the chat route, not the chat route, in the chats.js, you can see we have the user. So this user is going to be uh, the logged in user. This user is going to be logged in user and all the connected users to that. So for that, okay, we have to create a user. So const chat exists or not. Chat exists. Await chat dot find by id, and id is going to be request dot user dot chat id. And if the chat exists already, okay, if chat is not exist, then do this. If the chat exists already, then check, we have to check the if the user is already exists in their chat or not. So this is like this. So from the chat exists, from the connected user, in the connected user we have to find where goes, yeah, we in the connected user we have to find the user is already exists or not. So from that, user is equal to user to string is equal to user id. If the user is find, so user already exists. If user is not find, then const create a new chat for that. Yeah, that's looking good. Await chat dot find by id and update. Yeah, that's it. And push, we have to push, and connected users, user is going to be user id, user is going to be my ID and their ID in the add user. In the user ID, if the user is already exists, then it returns the exist. If user is not exist, then it creates a new chat for that user if the chat not found. Okay, we have to do one more thing here. If the chat is not exists, then we have to create it like if not. Okay, if not chat exists, then we need to create a new chat for that. So yeah, we created a new chat with the user dot request dot id, and from here we got the connected user, and in the connected user the user id and the last message. We created it and await new chat dot save, and that's it. And if the user is exists there, okay, if the chat is exists there, then we find the user is exist or not. If the user is exists, then user already present. If the user is not exists, then we have to return. Okay, we have to save it, await new chat user dot save. After the saving, we return the user is added successfully like this one. Okay, so for that, open the MongoDB Compass, and in the users we have only one user. So let's create two more users. So let's log in from any user, and in the here we have to refresh it. So we have three users, and we want to add user number two. We we need to add the user number two in my chat history. So for that, open the this one, and in the post request, okay, add user like this, and in the index.js, okay, we didn't. So module.exports is equal to router, okay, and here index.js is going to be app.use add user. So make it like this, add user and add user. Yeah. So here in the authorization, we need this one. So headers in the authorization, and value is this one, and in the body we send something or not. In the add user, in the body we need the user id. So it's going to be like this, user id, and from the MongoDB compass we need this one. Okay, in the postman, so let's send it like this. Yeah, this is the user id. So let's send it. Let's see what we get. We get the user added to chat. So let's see the MongoDB. Refresh, go to the chats, and you can see we have a chat with the ID and user. User is me. If you can see the this one 5A49C2, and in the chats you can see user is 5A49C2. Okay, in the connected user we have a object, and under that we have a user that is connected, and you can see the second one 514A, and this is, yeah, 514A, and okay, we have the last message, and we have the ID. In the messages we don't have anything yet. So in the chats you can see we have user and last messages, but in chat.js we have users, message ID and last message. Okay, so we don't have anything in the message ID. So again we have to find this one, if this one is working or not. So here, if go to send, you can see in the chats we have a user, and The chat ID is this, user is me, whoever the send the message, and we have the dot connected users. So we have to send there in the not the add chat route. In the chat route, we have to send their dot populate connected users only. So like this, we can send. We find the from the chats, and here mm, chat is going to be chats dot not like this. Okay, users dot select the connected users. Yeah, and try to send now. Yeah, we have ID and connected users. Okay, and not the user. We have the ID of the chat ID and the connected users only. We don't have the users. So basically, we don't need the users. And yeah, you can see the API of chat and the API of add user to our chat group is working fine. So that's it for today's video. We are going to integrate it in the upcoming video and also make the message API. And also we have to integrate the socket.io in front end and back end both side, so uh, we can find the our messages in the real time. We can communicate with each other in the real time because of the socket.io. So if you like this video, so like my video and subscribe my channel. And also, if you want this project source code, so link in the description of GitHub repo. And also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Links in the description, also flashing on the screen. So thank you.